Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Switch Hitter Podcast. I am your host, Red, where we will be talking all things Yankees baseball. The number to call, 929-630-4980. We'll jump right into it. We got our weekly overview, we got the future cast, around the MLB standings, pinstripe rewind, and of course, our player spotlight of the week. Let's jump into it. On Tuesday, May 26th, the New York Yankees took on the Royals with a 15-1 win. Oh boy, what a game it was. We started the game off in the top of the first with Cody Bellinger with his 8th home run of the year. The Yankees would challenge a catch on the field. It was overturned. Ben Rice would single a line drive to right field, and Goldschmidt would score in the top of the first, 2-0 Yanks. Rosario would get his 5th home run of the year on a fly ball to left center field. Ben Rice would score, and in the top of the first, the Yankees are up 4-0. Volpe would get his 1st home run of the year in the top of the second, 5-0 New York Yanks. Volpe would then single a ground ball to left field. Ben Rice would score, Rosario to second. Top of the third, New York Yanks are up 6-0. Trent Grisham would ground out to the first baseman. Rosario would score, Volpe to third, and Austin Wells to second. Top of the third, 7-0 New York Yankees. Bellinger would single on a ground ball to right field. Volpe would score, Wells would score, Aaron Judge to third. Top of the third, New York Yankees 9-0. What an inning that third inning was. Aaron Judge doubles his 10th of the year to center field. Chisholm would score, Grisham to third. Top of the fifth, 10-1 Yanks. In the top of the 7th inning, Trent Grisham would hit his 7th home run of the year, 11-1 New York Yanks. The home runs would not stop coming when Jazz Chisholm would hit his 6th home run of the year in the top of the 8th inning, 12-1 Yankees. In the top of the 8th, Austin Wells would single with a line drive to right field. Anthony Volpe would score, 13-1 New York Yankees. And to wrap the day up, Rosario in the top of the 9th would hit his 6th home run of the year. Ben Rice would score, 15-1 New York Yankees. What a game that was. And the road trip continued to be good to us. Wednesday, May 27th, we continued our series against the Royals with a 7-0 win. What a sweep. Ben Rice would start the day off in the top of the 4th with his first triple of the year. Goldschmidt would score. Top of the 4th, 1-0 New York Yankees. Judge would be out on a sacrifice fly to right field. Ben Rice would score in the top of the 4th, 2-0 New York Yankees. A successful pitching challenge on the field was confirmed. Goldschmidt would walk. Grisham would score, Volpe to third, McMahon to second. Top of the 7th inning, 3-0 New York Yankees. In the top of the 8th, Ben Rice would single on a ground ball to right field. Volpe would score, McMahon would score, Goldschmidt to third. Top of the 7th inning, 5-0 New York Yankees. Ryan McMahon would produce with his 5th home run of the year. Grisham would score, top of the 8th inning. Final score, 7-0 New York Yankees. On Friday, May 29th, we would start our series against the Athletics in dominating fashion with an 8-2 win. Aaron Judge would get the day started on the top of the first with a single, which would bring home Ben Rice. In the top of the first inning, Goldschmidt would hit his 6th home run of the year. Aaron Judge would score. Bellinger would score. Top of the first, it is now 4-0 New York Yanks. Ryan McMahon again would produce his 6th home run of the year on a fly ball to center right field. Top of the 3rd inning, 6-1 New York Yanks. And to finish the day off in the top of the 7th, Ben Rice would hit his 17th home run of the year to center field, 8-1 New York Yankees. Final score, 8-2 New York Yankees. Continuing that series against the Athletics on Saturday, May 3rd, the Yankees would fall in a 6-4 loss. Some of the scores would be Jazz Chisholm would steal his 14th of the year second base. Bellinger would score. Jazz Chisholm to third on a missed catch error by the second baseman. Top of the 4th inning, the Yankees are up 2-1. Ben Rice would walk in the top of the 9th inning. Ryan McMahon would score. Escara to third. Trent Grisham to second. In the top of the 9th, it is 2-6 for the Athletics. Aaron Judge would walk in the top of the 9th. Escara would score. Grisham to third. Ben Rice to second. 3-6, the Athletics. And Bellinger would walk again in the top of the 9th. Grisham would score. Ben Rice to third, and Aaron Judge to second. However, we could not finish the game up. It would still go to the Athletics 6-4. Yankees lose. On Sunday, we would come back, though, with swinging power. On Sunday, May 31st, we would win a 13-8 game against the Athletics. The Yankees would get the first score of the day in the top of the third inning. Goldschmidt would single on a ground ball to first base, which would allow Volpe to score, Schumann to third, and Austin Wells to second base. 1-3, the Athletics. Ben Rice would hit his 14th double of the year. Schumann would score. Austin Wells would score. Goldschmidt to third. In the top of the third inning, it is 3-3 New York Yanks. Aaron Judge would single. Goldschmidt would score. Top of the third inning, the Yanks take the lead 4-3. Top of the third inning, Jose Caballero would walk. Ben Rice would score. Judge to third and Bellinger to second base. It is 5-3 New York Yankees. Continuing in the top of the third, Trent Grisham would single a line drive to center field. Aaron Judge would score. Bellinger would score. Caballero to second. Top of the third inning, it is 7-3 New York Yanks. Continuing, top of the third, Anthony Volpe singles a line drive to center field. Caballero scores. Grisham to third. 8-3 New York Yankees. Continuing on in that third inning, which was unstoppable, Schumann would double his third of the year. Grisham scores. Volpe scores. 10-3 New York Yankees. Top of the third, once again, Ben Rice triples his second of the year. Schumann scores. Wells scores. 12-3 Yankees. And last score of the game for the New York Yankees, Bellinger singles. Sharp line drive to right field. Ben Rice would score, and the top of the third inning, it is 13-3 New York Yankees, with a final score of 13-8 New York Yankees win. That has been your weekly overview. We will now jump into the future cast. After an off day and a short week, the Yankees go on an 8-game stretch starting at home against the Cleveland Guardians. On June 2nd, the New York Yankees take on the Guardians at 7:05 p.m. at home. They continue that series on June 3rd at 7:05, and they finish up on Thursday, June 4th at 1:35 p.m. We then jump into a 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox, which should be a classic. Friday, June 5th at 7:05, Saturday, June 6th at 7:35, and the final game on Sunday, June 7th at 1:35 p.m. We then start some away games. Monday, June 8th, we go back and play the Guardians at their home at 6:40 p.m. And again on Tuesday, June 9th, we play them once again at 6:40 p.m. That has been your future cast. We will now jump into the Around the MLB standings. Leading the American League East are the Tampa Bay Rays with 36 wins and 21 losses, a .632 winning rate. Followed closely behind are the New York Yankees with 36 wins and 23 losses with a .610 winning rate. Over in the American League Central, we have the Cleveland Guardians with 34 wins, 27 losses, and then trailed by, surprisingly, the Chicago White Sox with 32 wins, 28 losses. Atop the American League West are the Seattle Mariners with 32 wins, 29 losses, trailed by the Texas Rangers with 29 wins, 31 losses. Over in the National League East, we have the Atlanta Braves with the most wins of any baseball team, 40 wins, 20 losses, trailed by the Philadelphia Phillies with 30 wins and 29 losses. Atop the National League Central, you have the Milwaukee Brewers with 36 wins, 21 losses, and followed by the St. Louis Cardinals with 31 wins, 27 losses. And finally, there has been some separation in the National League West. The Dodgers have trailed ahead with 38 wins, 22 losses, followed by the San Diego Padres with 32 wins and 26 losses. That has been your Around the MLB standings. We will now jump into the news. Not a tremendous amount of news this week. However, the talk of the town in Yankees land has obviously been the 13 runs scored in one inning. What a game that was. Again, that's what you want to do. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the Yankees dropping several runs towards the end of the game. By that third inning, the score was 13-3, and then the final score would be 13-8. You don't even want them to get close. But again, a win is a win. Our offense produced, but again, scoring 13 runs in one inning and then not scoring any runs again until the end of the game, a little concerning. But again, Ben Rice has been the talk of the town as well. batting a .462 with 7 extra base hits, 11 RBIs at 26 at-bats is just unbelievable. He's batting crazy. He is hitting. He's giving Judge a run for his money, who hasn't really kicked out of his slump yet, what we were talking about previously. But Yankees are doing well. We won a lot of games on that road trip, and hopefully being at home for the next 8 games will give us a continuous edge. Looking forward to that. This week's Pinstripe Rewind of the Week: on June 4th, 1988, Rickey Henderson would steal 2 bases for a record 249th as a New York Yankee. Nicknamed the Man of Steel, he is obviously regarded as one of the greatest leadoff hitters and base runners in the MLB. He holds major league records for career stolen bases, runs scored, unintentional walks, and leadoff home runs. That has been your Pinstripe Rewind of the Week. We will now jump into the Player Spotlight of the Week. This week, we will talk about a man who recently just got called back up, and that is none other than Anthony Volpe. He's done well this season. People have not been on his butt as much as they were last season. Again, New York Yankee fans are rabid, but he's been producing. Coming back from that injury, he's been producing, and New York Yankee fans are happy to see it. The 25-year-old from New York, is the current shortstop for the New York Yankees. He is signed through 2026 on a 1-year, $3.48 million years for the 26th season. He was drafted by the New York Yankees in the first round, number 30th of the 2019 MLB June Amateur Draft, Del Barton School in Morristown, New Jersey. His 2025 stats were a .212 average, a .272 OBP, a .391 slugging, and a .663 OPS. He is a 2023 Golden Glove Award winner. On October 14th, 2025, following the Yankees' elimination from the postseason, Volpe would undergo a surgery to repair a partially torn labrum, which he had played a part of the year with. Today is also a good day. We have Cam Schlittler starting on the mound, 7-2, a 1.50 ERA, 81 strikeouts on the season so far. Unbelievable. Always an exciting day when we see Cam Schlittler on the mound. And of course, hoping to get that done. As always, thank you so much for listening. I am your host, Red. This has been the Switch Hitter Podcast. If you want to drop a line, the number is 929-630-4980, and I will see you on the field.